Ndlovukazi nalabeka ngamangameli lisekela lamangameli eSouth Africa bekunene sinivusela kakhulu bekunene.
Your Majesty the Ndlovukazi, the former former Vice President of South Africa, present here today. All of you gathered here, I greet you all this afternoon.
Bekunene siyajabula namuhla kuhlangana neSibaya emva kwemisebenzi lemihle lebeyendeka eveni solo ukukuhle kubonala ukuthi awulive lakhile lihle sibili bekunene.
We are glad to gather in such a fashion here today after many wonderful activities that have been ongoing in the kingdom, and here we are today.
Bekunene siyathumisa nesive kubonakala ukuthi awusiphume umgqumo waso uyabonakala mkhulu sibili ngilonkuhle lokho bekunene nakutiwe esibayeni nibonakale usekela umhambo nemasiko sithi asikuthumise kakhulu lokho bekunene.
We applaud the nation for coming out in such great numbers in showing their love and respect for our culture in these great numbers that we have attended here today.
Bekunene siyathokoza ukuthi emkhathisini wethu lapha neMswati langale kulela lithaka nawo athi cha ngeke asale eMswati nakakha kwawo nawo akabe ingcenye ukukhomba ukuthi nabo bangeMswati bangaqali ke nekufika njengoba nemikhosini le yanale kulemiye nje sisuka kiyo yemihlanga bebakhona kunebantu abengosi kuntikhulu kunalo beka lisekela lamangameli weSouth Africa balapha njengeMswati kutoba ingcenye yeMswati nabo sithi abemukeleke kahle kakhulu eSwatini bekunene.
It is indeed a joy that when we are gathered in such a fashion, the Mswati that are from across the border are also here today in their numbers. Amongst us here today, we do have the princes, chiefs, and the former Vice President of the Republic of South Africa, who are not here just as a first instance, but they have been attending other cultural events as we have seen in times past.
Bekunene lo njoba Sibaya sibandi nalaba mele mave kuleli netive njoba nato nativa ukuthi kangwane kuyabonala ukuthi solo umkhosi uhlatshwe ngibebebe nabo baba khona sithi ke nanabo abamukeleka kakhulu bekunene.
Furthermore, I would like to welcome those that are coming from without our borders and the various diplomats that are gathered here, as they have heard that the King has called the nation, they have seen it fit to come and be a part of the occasions of the day.
Bekunene sithanda kuthumisa lemisebenzi lemiyendi lesisuka kiyo bekunene imikhosi yemihlanga la khona imbali iphume ngeluthu lwayo nanayo yabonakala kusukela lapha eLudzidzini esigodlweni kuyafika embangweni esigodlweni nakhona kwaba kuhle kwabanjeyana awu imisebenzi lemihle kakhulu live iyalakhela leli ebekunene.
We appreciate the success of the various activities, especially the Umhlanga return ceremony, which began here at Ludzidzini Royal Residence up until the Mbangweni Royal Residence. These events were a great success, which are indeed showcasing our unity and strength and fortitude as a nation.
Bekunene loku jabulisako kubona labasha imbali lensha lenye loyibonako ukuthi awuneminyaka usalekelelwa kepha luthando nenjabulo le bebayikhombisa nakusetshenziswa umsebenzi wemasiko awu kube kuhle kakhulu. Uyabona ukuthi awu emasiko ayasingena sibakangwane lokhu kuhle kakhulu lokho njengoba sawaphiwa ngumvele nqandi ezulwini bekunene.
What was pleasing to note was the attendance, the great attendance of the youth in our cultural activities. We also saw the very youngest ones of the maidens that had come out in numbers to join the ceremonies. This is gratifying indeed when we see that our young people are indeed involved in our culture and there is future for us as a nation.
Bekunene siyathokoza kakhulu ke ngoba nemsebenzi wemhlanga ulandzelwe imikhosi lewehlanganisa imikhosi lembili umkhosi welusuku nemkhosi wokuthola masibuse eveni lokube kuhle kakhulu nawo wahamba ngemoya lomuhle kakhulu kwaba kuhle ebekunene.
Preceding the Umhlanga ceremony were the double celebrations, where we celebrated the King's birthday alongside the independence of our kingdom. These events went very well, and we were so glad to see the success and the prosperity it brought to us as a nation.
Bekunene lokuhle ukuthi lomkhosi uhambe waba muhle saze sayosingathwa na lababuya ngaphandle kuleli nabo baba ingcenye yeMswati kujabula kanye kanye kwaba kuhle kakhulu umkhosi wekuvusetela kuthi simunye singeMswati sibambene siyawusebenta kanye kanye kwakha live liphumelele ebekunene.
The extent of the greatness of our celebrations extended beyond our borders, such that those that were here in the kingdom to join us celebrate our distinguished unity as a nation came to join us and were part of our unity and our joy as a nation.
Bekunene lokuhle wekuthi nase ngile yonke lemikhosi live bese lisukela umsebenzi lomkhulu umsebenzi welkhetho bekunene nawo lo bemuhle kakhulu bongathi ingayizivele kangwane kanzi kade saqala sikhetha kepha buhle balonyaka awu bekwehluke kakhulu bekunene.
After these celebrations that we had and ceremonies, the nation then embarked on our national elections, which were a great success as if it was the beginning. Yet we have been having national elections in times past, but this year far exceeded all other elections that we had in the spirit that was displayed by Mswati during these elections.
Bekunene lesiku thokotelako ngumoya lomuhle lesiubonile eMswatini kulesikhathi selikhetho awusibe sihle kakhulu ubonakele labathandaza ukuthi awubathandaza lokungiko ngoba nanithandaza lokungiko kubonakala nangetendo sadumisa kakhulu ukuthi kube kuhle kakhulu umsebenzi welive wahamba ngenhlonipho lenhle kakhulu bekunene.
The success of our elections did show that indeed as a nation we do pray, because a good prayer is one that produces such good results. This has been seen indeed in the success of our elections, and we thank God for that.
Bekunene sidumisa nalo libandla lebeli vele libuke wona lo msebenzi njengoba belihlangene libuke ukuthi sive sisebenza kahle esigabeni selikhetho ukuthi siyadumisa kakhulu libandla lisebenza umsebenzi lomuhle bekunene ubonakele lonke le beliphumile kwaba kuhle kwaba njeyana bekunene.
I'd also like to take this time in applauding the Elections and Boundaries Commission, which have played a splendid role in the preparation and conduct of the election since inception to completion to the time that we are at here today. They have really outdone themselves.
Bekunene nembala na umsebenzi umuhle lo kujabulisa ukuthi baye bathi wena ulakhathi ugidza ngeke ugidza uphinza utishayele tandla nako konke lokho sithokodile ngoba bekunema observers lebeka khona eveni labuya emhlabeni wonke jikelele kufaka ekhathi bo SADC bo AU United Nations Commonwealth nemave emhlaba ngekwehlukahlukana netinhlangano leto letiqhamukile tonke tito kwati ukuthi bakangwane kulomsebenzi labawendako ungabe benda lokunjani bekunene.
As the idiom goes that one can never beat his own drums. As a nation, whilst conducting the elections, we had the privilege of external observers who came to oversee our elections, starting from our various countries in the region and SADC and the African Union to the United Nations and other multilateral organizations that participated in the observation exercise in our election process in the kingdom.
Bekunene ngilalele nabakhuluma ngekwehlukahlukana ukuthi ngabe batawuthini sesilalele ukuthi bathini bonke ngathi ngiyalalela free and fair kwaba kuhle ke lokho.
I was anxiously awaiting their various reports, and in anticipation I waited, and I was glad to hear each and every grouping report that the elections in the kingdom were free and fair.
lokhu ke kushona ukuthi bebadumise eMaswati nembala asifanele atishane tandla ngemsebenzi lomhle la kwendako bekunene.
The report was indeed an applaud or an applause for the Emaswati for having done a great work, and you deserve to clap hands for yourselves for a job well done.
Bekunene njoba nembala kubonakala ukuthi nawo usebenta lo msebenzi ngisho nalapha bephandzaba bawenda lo msebenzi wavela wabonalisa ukuthi uba lively uyalandzeleleka konke lokwenteka kako bokhona kokulandzela noma uya kulapha betithombe noma bemisakato noma bemaphepha noma ngibaphi bonke bekulandzeleleka kufaka nekhathi ukuthi ne-RSTP ibambisene nalo libandla le-ABC bafaka i-app lokubonalisa ukuthi sive besivele silandzela konke ngelicingo lelihleti la khikhini laso ngiloyo ngamunye bekunene.
I would like to thank the role of the media during our election exercise. All media houses, social media platforms, and also the print media, radio, and television all made it possible for Mswati and all international friends to follow the election process in the kingdom. Furthermore, the RSTP, in conjunction with the EBC, launched an application that was accessed through our various mobile phones in our pockets, which made it so easy to follow the elections, and everyone indeed was a part of our election process throughout.
Bekunene ngingasho ukuthi nangibukela le application beyibonalisa ukuthi iyalandzelelwa lapha etingcingweni nakubomabona kudze yazi yangikhumbuta bengibukela lamanye ema-elections kulamanye mave iyakhulu lamave la le ngesheya la First World kubonalisa ukuthi le standard lebese sisebenzisa la bese sivele siyi First World standard bekunene.
The use of the various media platforms during our elections reminded me of what I normally see in advanced nations of the world during their elections. This then brought to me the mind and understanding that indeed as a nation we have reached and obtained first world status as the election process was of first world standard.
Nesive ke awusaphuma ngetingane ngasibukela emalanga onke kusetshenzwa singalali sihleti ngulabadzala ngulabancane ngulaba semkhathisini ngulabangakanani bomake bobabe bomkhulu bogogo majaha tintfombi nabo bonke wawubona ukuthi bekungalalwa lelo langa lelo noma lawo malanga lawo ngoba kwakuvele kube ngemalanga kusetshenzwa awu sive kulendlela lesathi khandla ngaso kuphuma ngetingane kuyawusebenza umsebenzi welive kwaba kuhle kakhulu lokho bekunene.
It was such a joy to see the nation come out in such might and force, regardless of age, gender, or whatsoever. I saw the young, I saw the youth, I saw the elderly, bogogo nabomkhulu, come out in numbers in not just one day, but also for all the days that with the nation was in participatory in the election. Such needs to be congratulated and applauded that the nation did well.
Bekunene lobuhle lobu kwakukuhle kakhulu ngangize ngibuke ukuthi ngabo 3 ekseni ngithi ngiyabuka awubone emajazi lamakhulu solo bahleli kugadziwe ukuthi kuhamba kona yini kunaliso ukuthi kungaze konakala titiba awu kwaba kuhle kwajabulisa kakhulu nangiyibuka leso sithombe leso abese sihle kakhulu leso sithombe bekunene.
I remember watching television, seeing a Mswati stay up in the night around 3 a.m. I saw some of those that were there were amongst the most senior of citizens in the kingdom, but everyone, both young and old, were watching onto the counting of the various votes to see that all votes are accorded accordingly. It was a great sign to see.
Bekunene lo moya lo muhle lengawubona ukuthi nasisebenta into yakithi lesiyithandzako sidinikela kangakanani kusukela ekuseni kuze kushaye kusa boze ubone ngemehlo ukuthi akukalalwa soloku kugadziwe ukuthi konke kuhamba kahle kude lapho konakala khona kwakhomba ukuthi ke lokho kusho ukuthi singemaswati nangabe noma ngabe ngabe kunani kuyasho lokho ukuthi singakunciphisa kulala sihlale nje sibone ukuthi umsebenzi uyaphelela ngendlela lefanele bekunene.
The commitment and dedication that I saw during the elections inspired me. It gave me the idea that nothing shall conquer us as a nation. If we have such determination, we can overcome every challenge that can come up against us as a nation and take that same zeal we use during our elections for whatever that comes our way.
Bekunene kule sigaba sa sebenta kwaba kuhle sive umsebenzi lomuhle siyawudumisa kakhulu kwekuthi awusive sakhombisa kwafaka emandla kwaba kuhle nine bekunene njoba nalokuhle kuye kwekuthi nase kuphume ubonalise kwekuthi usekuphume ama results noma imiphumela kwekuthi kuhambe njani besolo sibeke ke indlebe kuva ukuthi ngabe kumbe ukhona no1000 awu kukhona lapho kungakahambi kahle khona kepha ke solo kusengakavakali lutho kusho ukuthi sithatha ukuthi awu ngilona loyo naye uthi awu lokwendekile wenele lapho akhona khona bekunene.
Indeed, the nation conducted the elections very well in participating and casting their votes, and eligible people were voted into the various offices to bear. I have been listening and waiting to see if there would be any complaints whatsoever. I haven't heard any complaint regarding our election process, which means every individual that participated is satisfied on the free and fair elections that we have as a kingdom.
Bekunene naku hlatshwa lapha esakweni bebabayenti lebeba netithombe tisekhatsi sibadvumisa bonke kusukela kuma primary lapho kuqalwe khona noma singathi nakusasuka emiphakathini kuye kuyawufika etinkundleni kwa baba banyenti labangena njengoba bekunale babonalisa ukuthi labangenele kuyawuthi bafuna kuba dindvuna tetinkundla buqopho lilunga leParliamente bebabanyenti lebebangenile futhi nemsebenzi labawenda waba mkhulu kakhulu ngamunye wabo labo bantu ebekunene.
I'd also like to thank all those that allow themselves to be nominated for the various eligible positions of Bukopo, Indvuna Engundla, and Member of Parliament. From inception in the various chiefdoms to the primary elections and secondary elections, even though you did not succeed, but your attendance made this election the success that it is today.
Bekunene kulesi sigaba siyathumisa ngoba sathi nasibuka le app ihle iniketa inkomba lenye lethide nithi ngayitolo nilele nicabanga ukuthi ukuthi basetamkhanza bani kulesigaba la sahambe sona ubukele tinombolo awu usukusa ngakusasa awu nangu sebambambile sebavele bamkhanzile awu kubonakala phinze njalo awu cha nangu sokuphinze uyaqhubeka ubone ukuthi nalaba jabulako bese bavele baqala bayajabula kuphinze njalo tinkoma hayibo sekujikile njalo sekwendeke njani esolo ukuthi ke awu konke lokho bekumnanzi kakhulu nawubukela live lenda lomsebenzi lomhlelo lona bekunene.
Watching the app was a thrilling exercise indeed, because at one moment, one candidate was leading and you went to sleep thinking no one will cover the gap that they have so opened. Unbeknown that when you wake up a few minutes later or hours, you do find that they have covered the previous candidate, and some went even to make celebrations thinking that they had indeed won the election, only to find moments later that things again have changed. The one that we thought had won is now not even to be counted amongst those that are in the forefront. The following of the elections through the app was exciting indeed.
Bekunene nembala lesingakudumisa ukuthi bonke laba lebe bawungenele lo msebenzi ngamunye ngeke singahlali sibadumisa nalabo lababonala ukuthi ekugcineni bagcina bangasafinyeleli kulawo maphupho lebe bafise ukuthi babe ngakiwo, kepha lokuhle umoya wabo lomuhle labawukhomba ukuthi bebayingcenye yelive ngoba basebenta batikhandla bakhona nekukhokha tinombolo tesive dihambe tiyoba sekela lena kwafaneke kwangabi leso sigaba, kepha nje umsebenzi abawendile bonke waba mkhulu kakhulu ebekunene.
I would like to take this time to thank those that participated in the election process where they were nominated into the various portfolios. They participated in a very good spirit and were able to amass a lot of people that supported them, that came to vote for them. even though they did not succeed in the election process. But we'd like to thank you so much for participating and showing your love for the kingdom, and also that the nation had entrusted you with such a task and you took up the obligations.
Bekunene nabo ke laba phumelela asibathumisele kusukela enduneni yenkundla uyawufika buqopho nawo onke emalunga eParliamente le savele yabonala ukuthi asakhona nine bekunene nawo asiwadumisele esigabeni sewewe ukuthi sive naso sesitikhokhile tindvungu lesingito lesibona ukuthi letindvungu letinkosi nayisebenta live ndona lengasebenta ngato live litokwakheka bekunene.
I would also like to thank and congratulate all those that succeeded in the election process from Bukopo to Infuna Ngundla up until the Member of Parliament for having been able to win this highly contested election was a great thing to have. The nation has indeed tasked you and given the king people to use for the various assignments in the nation, and we applaud you for your great success.
Bekunene njoba umsebenzi ke lona welkhetho so phelile ngalapha ngasithi inkundleni emalunga eParliamente asasakhona kusengakapheleli njoba vele kufuna bese kuyaphelela bongana bekunene ngilapho ke nembala kubonala khona ukuthi kufuna bese kubukwa ke ukuthi nje umkhumbi ubona captain lo fanele abe lapha ngubani ke lo captain le lotawuhola lo mkhumbi bekunene.
Since the nation has concluded the various election processes, we are now at the stage where we must indeed find the captain of the ship. The question that remains and begs is, who is that captain today?
Bekunene ngoba into yonke nawe uyenda uyayithandazela nje ukuthi kutohamba kahle lembala nami ngithandazile ukuthi le ndvodza lefanele niyithole noma loyo ngithi nanginika abe nguye nembala lo uyawubonisa ukuthi cha utawukhona ukuqhuba umkhumbi wengosi uhambe kahle bekunene.
I have also prayed and prayed, ensuring that the captain that shall steer the ship be the right one. And I have prayed for that today.
Bekunene ngithi tena ngibuka ukuthi ligama ngaba ngibani kwabonakala ukuthi njoba Sibaya sithi ngesiswati si formisha part of kuba Eswatini National Council ngoba kuba ne standing committee or ema standing committees la ngathi maqoqo amabandla ngekwehlukana bese ke nesibaya sibe luleki bengosi laba ngayeluleka ingosi ukuthi ke ngisale ngabuka nasingahamba nangaloyo moya loyo ingosi iyawuthi nasiyeluleke ngesibaya kuyabe konke kuhamba kahle bekunene.
As I was thinking and pondering on the eligible candidates, I realized that Sibaya in itself is a counsel to the king. As we know that we do have other standing councils in the form of Likoko and the other various councils that advise the king. I saw it befitting that Sibaya could also advise the king and be counsel to the king at this time.
Niyabo ke nine bekunene ngengakambulala indvunankulu ngidawunikeda nini elithuba senibhunge seniteke la Sibayeni niteke netindzaba letinihluphako bekunene.
Before I appoint the Prime Minister, I saw it befitting that you as a nation will discuss and advise the king on who should be the eligible Prime Minister, and any other issues that you would have in your heart will be discussed here at Sibaya.
Akugcini kuphela ngoba ndvunankulu akabi yedwana kuba nelibandla njengoba kuba nelibandla lecabinet nitawubhunga nje kungasho ukuthi kumbe kanjani nitokwati ukuthi hawo ngoba teluleko enkosini deluleko kuya ngewe ukuthi inkosi isifileni leseluleko kunjani bekunene.
The nation will not only dwell on the Prime Minister, but I seek advice from the nation also on the issues of cabinet. The advice that you will give to the king is advice, not necessarily prescription, but it's advice that the king may take if he has heard that advice as advised by the nation.
Lekufanele sikukhumbule ukuthi nasiya ngeconstitution ivele kuhlabise ngelubala ukuthi luyawululeka inkosi ngekubekeni icabinet ngundvunankulu bekunene sengisho ukuthi ke sikwati lokho ukuthi ke konke nje lesikushoko ekugcineni kubese kufuna sifunze neconstitution bese ifika ithini ke iconstitution nasifika kulenza.
As we bring the advice to the king, we must be cognizant to the fact that the Constitution states clearly that the advice on cabinet selection will always come from the Prime Minister. So as we provide the advice, let us all know and beware that it is the privilege of the Prime Minister to advise the king.
Bekunene kukhuluma kakugcini ngekubuka bondvunankulu na nelibandla lonke kuba nempilo ukuthi sinenhlala kahle sinekubuka lelikusasa ukuthi likusasa live singalimisa kanjani lokho kusho ukuthi ke ukukhuluma kubandi ningavele nivule nikwati ukuthi lokho la enhlitweni ungaze uhlale netinto la enhlitweni ukuthi tidale nabo heart attack kanti kube uthi khwehlele ngase tiphumile leto tinto ukuthi konke lokula etinhlitweni lokuvele kulinyeva nitawuvele niphumele baleni nakhona lapho nivele niteke nje uba Sibaya vele siteka tonke tindzaba bekunene.
The deliberations of Sibaya will not only dwell on governance, but it will also touch on the social landscape of the nation. Whatever thorn that you might have in your flesh, speak out that thorn here at Sibaya before you have a heart attack. So this is your forum to cough out whatever you have in your heart before the king.
Bekunene lapha ngivele ngathi ithuma tindvuna tibolungisa nepanel kubonakala nje ukuthi kungakhethwa amadoda abe ngu7 noma ngabe ngu8 noma ngu10 akhulume kanye bese kubutwa nemibuto nako konke lokho kuhle ku deliberate ngetindvo letinjengaleti kwakhiwe tindlela ukuthi nesive ke bese sithola tindlela tokubeka naloko ukuthi sihle sikuhlanganisa sibone ukuthi nasakhako yini lesingaphuma nako bekunene.
I have also charged the governors to select men and women 8 to 10 in number that will form a panel of discussions which will also present an opportunity to the nation to ask particular questions and add on to that which they would have presented before the nation.
Bekunene emhlabeni ngeke wathi wente konke lokungeko uyawukhanzalisha ukuthi kule panel yathi kube kungethwe imali nabani ukuthi ke ningete nathi khanyete naniva nani ukuthi asingete lapha nithi awungeta kuloko lenifisa nabo nani ukuthi nikubeke ebandla bekunene.
If for any reason you see that some faces are missing in the panel that would add value, you are allowed to also recommend names that could join the panel in order to add value to our discussion and nation at large.
Bekunene tindzaba dinyendi netemnotho njoba kulamalanga sisuka ku COVID sivele sinyendi besihlaselwe kuswela kwemisebenzi kuswela lokwa nalokwa tonke leto tindzaba leti tindzaba letifanele tikhulunyiswe kuke kwabonakala ukuthi sive sike sangahlali kahle sangahlali ngendvombi kwaba netintfo letitsindzako lapha nalapha konke lokho nifanele nisive nikukhulumise kubonakala ukuthi live lakheke live litohlala litindile ngoba ekugcineni lesifunako sifuna live leSwatini lihlala ngekuthula litokhula ngentenhlala kahle likhule empilweni kiko konke bekunene.
Above and beyond what I have said, I would like the nation to deliberate on the economy of the land. COVID had its devastating effect and impact on the nation to the effect that most of our people lost jobs and lost their businesses. It is for that reason that it becomes important that we do have an economic discussion. And further to that, we also experience unrest in the kingdom. That is a thorny discussion that the nation must engage itself in as a peace-loving nation that desires to stay in peace and harmony and unity in the nation. So these are the discussions that the nation must indulge their minds upon.
Bekunene njoba ke vele kuyimpilo yethu live sengidawo uva ngetindvuna njoba litawukhuluma libonale ukuthi nangabe sive sisesinyenti emalanga kubonakala ukuthi nawo ayalungiseleleka kwendelo ukuthi nalokunyendi kungakangeni ingqwala sibe sikhonile ukuthi sesikwendile bekunene kepha ke injobo sengishiyile bandla libandla nalo sentawusale lishikila liphume bonalise ukuthi liphuma nemakhambi latawulethe enkosini inkosi itochubeka yakhe live bekunene.
The governors shall advise me on how to conduct the Sibaya and how long should it take, being conscious that the Ingwala ceremony is closing upon us. So I have set the baton before you here today, and the ball is now in your court to be able to further these discussions, and I will hear from the governors on how to proceed and conclude these discussions.
Bekunene ngala magama sijabulile kakhulu kunibona nikhona lapha sithokoza kubona kutho singemaswati nalabonala ukuthi angale akhumbule kagogo ngoba kwagogo lapha bekunene babonakale ukuthi bayingcenye yemaswati lokusho ukuthi ke nabo bayawujike bandla nabafuna ukujike bandla silalele sakhe singemaswati njoba sitowakha bekunene.
It has been such a great joy to see you all here today, especially Emaswati that have come from beyond the border. These, I would like to say, this is home. Where you have come, you have actually come to your grandmother's place. And we seek to hear your input and advice as well as to how you see our nation flaring and what you have in your heart about your motherland.
Bekunene nalabo labativako kusina nabo bayafisa kungenele emaswati nakakhako nabo bemukelekile noma ubuya ngaphandle ukwati ukuthi bakangwane nako nanako ama ideas ngoba imibono uyitfolele nalena nalena uthola kulonjena uthole kulonjena lo uyawugcina ubona ukuthi nakwakhiwa live ngoba live nalakhiwako lakhiwa ngiwo wonke umuntu lo yawuphili lo awubufisa kwesilive libe nelekusasa lelihle uyawukhanza ukuthi nalo kuhle uyakuthola lapha nalapha nabo bemukelekile kujika ebandla bekunene.
As the nation is building, we as a nation are open to all types of advice, even from those who are from without our borders here, who are not Emaswati, are able to advise us as a nation. Because when we build a nation, we seek all ingredients that shall enable us as a nation to grow and become the structure that we so desire. So we open our doors here today to all those that are from without our borders who have a word of advice and a caution to open up and be free to express that advice here at Sibaya.
Bekunene ngalamagama sekubo injabulo lenkulu kunibona nekunivusela namuhla nami sengidanishiya naso Sibaya ndosale niqhubeka sengiyawuze nginivusele nasekubonalisa ukuthi nani senihlanganisile leningakhona kokeluleka enkosini inkosi itoqhubeka isebenzele ebekunene.
With these words, I would like to thank you all for coming out. As I have already presented to you what shall obtain in the days to come. Mine will be after all of your deliberations have come to an end and have provided your advice. Then shall I come and announce accordingly.
Bekunene lokuhle ukhumbutana ukuthi nasi ngeMswati imihambo nemasiko njengoba sihambisa embili nenhlonipho singakulahli lokho ngoba kuyimpilo yethu ngona kusakhela emamveni nemhlabeni wonke jikelele esigabeni sekutheni eMswati atiwa ngenhlonipho nanyalo niyabonakala ukuthi awu inhlonipho isetulo kakhulu iyajabulisa ngiko ke nale kufanele nifune indlela neyokuthi nithishiyela njani titukulwane leti awuvela nato tilibambe lo nyawo njoba nilibambile ebekunene.
As I leave you to Sibaya, I would like to admonish you as a nation not to forget our cultural practices, respect and honor, which we are known for all over the world. I therefore charge you as a nation to continue in such a spirit as I have seen here today, Eswatini, the respect that you have shown and displayed, the unity and love that you have shown is gratifying indeed. This is the spirit that I ask that must continue to be the form and culture and structure of all our deliberations moving forward.
Sengifisela umsebenzi lomuhle lendawo uqhubeka nokusebenta bekunene siyabonga uNkulunkulu asibuse sonke bekunene.
I now wish all of you well in all the works that you will be doing, and I thank you. May Almighty God bless us all.
Asilalelane bongozi.